I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise.
Chris,
I know.
Chris, stop.
Oh my God.
Just stop for a minute. Take a deep breath. I want you to take a deep breath right now.
There's a reason you feel sick to your stomach. And when people hold stuff inside, it makes you physically ill. And I can just tell on your face, I can tell you.
Fun fact, the narrator is a total chudge. The person on the channel has all these vids about how scary Antifa is. Wait, what? I thought the narrator was like a leftist, dude. What the fuck? Some people are saying the narrator Some people are saying the narrator is a leftist. Others are saying he's a fucking chud. Anyway, I don't give a shit. Oh my God, dude. Straight doo-doo Daphne gamer posture right here, dude. This is the most gamer-ass posture I've ever seen. There's a really good docuseries on Netflix just like this one. Only every episode is about how cops can get an innocent person to incriminate themselves.
Tell from the second you walked in that you were wanting to just come clean and just be done with this.
This is a technique known as social exchange, an interpersonal persuasion strategy in which the interrogator provides the suspect with a psychological reward in return for the information they need. In this case, she's trying to convince Chris that the alleviation of mental weight is a worthy trade for a confession. She does this in a manner that protects his self-esteem by giving him appreciative reinforcements.
And I appreciate that because you knew sitting down in that chair that you weren't going to pass today. And you knew I was going to find out because I told you that. And then you continued to stay knowing that you could, at the end, say, you know what? I just need to get this off my chest.
Everything that I've told you, I did not lie on this polygraph. I don't know how much I could tell you right now. Like, I did not.
It's not even an option right now because you did not pass the polygraph, so I know you were being deceptive. So that's not even an issue right now. The issue right now is what happened to Shanann, Bella, and Celeste.
The following tactic is called the futility technique, a building block to induce a sense in a suspect that any resistance on behalf of their cause is futile due to the overwhelming evidence against them. This was obviously not the case, as polygraphs are not admissible evidence, and Chris was in fact still free to leave at this point.
That's the issue right now.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
I
know you want to tell us. I can see it in your face. Holding this lie in is going to do nothing for you.
I know this. Like, okay. I'm not like trying to like cover things up. Like,
low-key, this is the first time that he actually comes across as like as innocent. You know what I mean? Where like, not really, but like the other parts, he was so fucking guilty. The other parts, like every single part of this process from him start to finish, he has come across as so fucking guilty that this is the first time where I'm like, I mean, he's like expressing a little bit of anger almost. This guy is super guilty.
Yeah, but you kind of are because it's normal.
This is no longer an interview to collect information. The steps of asking questions and receiving answers is over, and the interrogators are now in the process of leading the suspect into a state of mental exhaustion. The detectives will attentively watch for denials and stop them before they can be voiced. Letting the suspect deny his guilt will only increase his confidence and prolong his cerebral stamina.
Normal people would do that. Normal people that make a mistake initially are going to go, I don't know what you're talking about, I didn't do anything. That's normal. I would expect that. That's a natural reaction that someone's going to initially lie about something like that and then eventually tell the truth. So this is your eventually telling the truth time. This is where the rubber meets the road, Chris. Like, don't let this continue any longer, please.
I'm not trying to make anything continue. Like, I want them back home, like.
But you know they're not coming back home. You know that.
I don't know in the back of my head. I hope they come back home.
But you know they're not.
Chris,
oh my God.
Okay. And here's what we're confused about. I told you that we've done some work overnight.
Yeah.
I told you that we've got a lot of leads. Okay, that wasn't a lie.
I know.
We know a lot more than you think we do. Okay.
The dossier technique is a variant of the futility technique, the only difference being that the detectives are far more cryptic and often deceptive about the evidence they have. This will hint at things in a vague manner for the purpose of escalating a suspect's uncertainty.
Where are they?
don't know where they're at.
We know the pause. He's done the pause already. He's gonna.
I do not know
Oh,
where
he's gonna
they're
keep
at.
talking.
If I could have my babies back home right now, I would. I want them back. I want everybody back. That is the God's honest truth.
Although the detectives want to intensify Chris's psychological stress levels, they do not want him to become reactively agitated, as this could lead him to objecting and resisting every step of the way, and the interrogation will never get off the ground. It also significantly increases the chances of him requesting legal counsel and ending the interrogation outright. This elicits the interrogator to change approach and utilize what is known as the ego-up technique, where the detective will build on the self-respect of the suspect through positive
Yo,
reinforcement.
I feel like he's just making this shit up. I don't know why. These techniques all sound like just patchwork. Like he just like made it up as he was going along. You know what I'm saying? This is the ego up technique. This is the I just made this up. This is not a real technique.
It is very surprising to me, and it warms my heart that you're the type of dad who can pack a bag.
I gotta fucking stand up for this,
You
boys.
know just what to put in there. You know just what to put in there as a backup in case they have an accident. Okay? You know what the clothes to put in there. You know what they have for breakfast. You know what they have for a snack and a dinner and a nighttime snack. You can tell me the book you read to your daughters. Okay? I know you love them. But you are here today lying about something else. So we need to talk about that, okay?
I cheated on her.
I know. And this is very good. Keep
I saw her, took my breath away, and I never thought in a million years that could happen.
I know.
I never felt that way about
Here
anyone.
you have a Sigma male break his frame piece by piece, boys. A Sigma male whose frame is broken.
Like anybody in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not proud of it. She accused me of it. I denied it. I cheated on her, and I feel horrible for it. Like, she was pregnant, and
Goober bombs.
it was...
Goober bombs at gooberbombs.me.twitch.tv prims hashtag HasanAbi. You looked so proud of yourself when you transitioned into that 11
You're doing a
tenths.
good job. This is the Chris that I knew would come out today. This is the Chris who tells the truth because you're a truth teller. I don't think this
Or
girl
you're a murderer, dog. It's kind of wild to be like, you're a truth teller to a fucking murderer.
did anything to hurt anybody. When you leave her out of it,
Okay.
get back to your wife and your daughters.
Okay.
Where are they?
That I do not know. That was what I was holding back. Like, I didn't know, like, what I did. I know.
Chris, in the interview today, you weren't asked about infidelity. You were asked about,
That was, I was holding back from last night.
that's
When
not
you
why
talk-
you failed today.
That's not how that works.
Here's the challenge that we have. We knew about Nikki, and so we didn't
was
need
pregnant,
to
yeah.
ask you about her in the polygraph. We just didn't need to, because we knew, okay? And so, that's why we didn't ask you, because we already knew the answer, okay? We're very, very worried about your daughters and your wife.
I am too.
This should have been the happiest time of your marriage. Okay? You and Shanann. This should have been the happiest time. She's making a little money. She's making good money. You're making great money. You both have a job. You have beautiful kids. You have a beautiful house. You're in Colorado. Clean air, good people. Okay? And on top of that, you look pretty good now. You're pretty fit. Okay? This should have been a time in your marriage where you guys were happy and thriving and productive. Okay? And I believe
You look pretty hot,
that
dude.
Shannon's the reason that
That's
that
our
happened.
tool of the
This is
oppressor.
called the how and why solution, a technique that allows the suspect to admit a lesser act and blame the victims, while at the same time minimizing the crime and motivations of his actions.
I believe that she's a controlling person. Maybe doesn't listen to you as much as she
There's no shot the average fucking cop can fit all of this information in their brain, okay? Like, all of these techniques and shit, like, there's just no shot. Why are people adding 39 doo-doo? Hasan Pogo. This is called the 39 daft technique, dude.
should. I think that she can do whatever she wants and you can't. Okay? I think if you were to go to a restaurant, she would order whatever the hell she wants. And as soon as you order a nice steak, she says, whoa, buddy. That's because you're a good person. And I think that she started on the path to leave the marriage. Okay? It's ironic that we're talking about you and Nikki. I think that she was the one who started on that path first. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't have thought about
Okay. And the other thing I think is interesting is,
Zero
even though
two.
she is that type of person that's controlling, doesn't listen, does what she wants, is walking away from her kids, here you are defending her. Because to your core, you want to take care of the people you love. Okay. And that's the reason why we want to give you an opportunity today to just help us find them. Okay. Chris, right now your
Suck
dad's
that
upset.
one.
He flew across the country to help you. Okay.
Didn't his dad end up leaking it?
You're lying to him. You're lied to everyone you talk to. And they all bought it. Will you please help us find your babies?
I want to find them. I've told you over and over, I want to find everyone.
Can you understand that some of this just doesn't make sense to us? How is it possible that a woman and 2 kids are just completely gone off the face of the earth?
I promise you, I have nothing on my hands I did nothing to those kids or her to make them vanish.
As the interrogation goes on, the constant and relentless psychological pressure
wildest part about this is
essentially
that the
puts
detective
Chris
is
at the
lying
edge
to him
of his
so hard.
ability to function cognitively. It's a slow and methodical process of breaking down his resistance while maintaining a balance of pugnacious and reassuring psychological techniques.
I just find it hard to hear you talk about just having this emotional,
Alright, fine.
conversation with Shanann, and you're bawling and crying together, and you have not shed one tear in 2 days that you've been here.
Not once.
Not one. And help me understand that, because I don't get it. These are your baby girls, and you have not shed one tear over them not being around. Chris, I lose my 4-year-old in the store for 10 seconds, and I start to go panic. I have not seen any of that from you at all.
Good one, Ajay.
Help me understand that.
I love those girls. I would never do any of this because I haven't shed a tear. You get
Yeah,
it?
no, that's weird. Is that weird?
Don't look into that like I don't love my
Well,
kids.
tell
I love
me,
my wife.
explain to me. You're crying with your wife that you're leaving her,
Yeah.
but you don't cry that your 2 little baby
Okay,
girls
he's
I'm
gonna
hoping
start-
they're
is he
still
gonna
around.
start
so
fake
I'm
crying?
hoping they're
Is he gonna
still
try to fake cry?
somewhere.
In the next moments, you will see step 7 of the Reed interrogation technique known as the alternative question, where the suspect is given an alternative and far more morally acceptable choice for what happened.
Chris, did Shanann do something to them?
No, I don't know.
Damn
I'm
it,
serious.
this
I have no clue.
into
No,
it.
you would have known, because they didn't leave the house.
Like, when,
Did Shanann do something to them, and then did you feel like you had to do something to Shanann?
They were at the house when I left. They were there.
They weren't there. They didn't leave. They vanished.
They were
The
there.
only way they could have left is in your truck.
Okay, the irony of all of these techniques is that this motherfucker revealed more shit when he wasn't aware that they were suspicious of him than now when they're like obviously
That's
suspicious
wow,
of
way
him
to go,
and they're
Ajay.
trying to break him down. But like he already gave the game away in the first hour that he talked to this guy. When he was just like, oh, those kids, it'd be a shame if they were murdered. I mean, if someone like fucking murdered them and then dumped them in an oil barrel, that would be a real fucking shame. That'd be crazy. Like if I were to kill them, like I think that this dude is more confident and like better at,
Impersonally donated
he's
to
like
you to
better
tell you to
broken
never do that
down
smug
when
face
he's
again,
confident
but
and
any
feels
other
like he
ad
knows
segue.
what the fuck's up. Like he has like full control over the situation, where he's made to feel like he is controlling the narrative.
Did Shanann do something?
Something happened in the house that you know about. We know that something happened to all 3 of them. But I want to know, did something happen to these baby girls first that you had to take into your own hands and deal with?
You had to clean it up for Shanann.
Chris, you gotta tell us. There's something that happened to these baby girls. Look at them.
I know. Before he came in, I was watching videos.
have no doubt you love these girls with all of your heart. I have no doubt. But we make mistakes.
I feel as manipulated as Mr. Watts.
It's what
Just
we
a
do with those
oopsie.
mistakes that make us who we are.
Just a oopsie where you did a fucking triple homicide.
What are you thinking about?
I expect you to be supporting the Thin Blue Line soon, at HasanAbi.
I feel like you cleaned up for her. I feel like that's the type of guy that you are.
Quadruple homicide,
Chris,
sorry.
there's a weight that's going to be on you for the rest of your life until we resolve it tonight. Unless we can talk about this more tonight, this is going to follow you forever. I promise you, when you start talking to us, you will feel better.
Chris, we're giving you a lifeline right now. You need to take it. You need to reach out and take it. Chris, you took them out of the house with their
15
blankets
months
and
off.
their animals. And that's because you cared. That's what a caring dad does. And you either cleaned up after Shanann or you made the mistake and...
Dude, these guys are psychos too, by the way. Like, you gotta be a fucking real psychopath to be able to say nice things to a person who you're sitting across from that you legitimately believe murdered his fucking pregnant wife and 2 kids, like 2 babies. Like, you're such a good dad. Like, I would not be able to do that. I'd just be like, I would not be able to control myself in this situation. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking insane where they are able to do that.
I mean, I want to believe that maybe Shanann did it and you felt compelled to fix this so Shanann didn't look bad. That's what I want to believe. But I don't know, you're not telling me that, so it makes me think the worst. Like, did you
I did not do
to
anything.
all 3 of them?
I
Like,
did not do anything with these kids. Not do anything.
what did Shanann do to them? Tell us, Chris. Chicks are crazy.
Can I talk to my dad or something?
That's crazy.
Absolutely. Do
Come.
you want to bring him in here?
No, I just can't talk to my dad. Like, he flew across the country.
Hey, Chris,
I can't.
how about this? If we brought your dad in here, would you please tell him what happened?
And you need to realize that your dad is not going to stop loving you no matter what you tell him. You are his child, and he will not stop loving you.
There.
Ever.
And this is not the last chapter in anyone's story. At all. Okay. Hey, Chris, we're going to let you have however much time you need, okay?
Sure. You gonna leave us in there or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Tell us what's going on with anything, or?
And this, polygraph failed it. Yeah, because there's
Too much emotions.
it's,
Anything else you want to tell me, what's going on, or what happened, or anything, anything about?
when we had that conversation that morning, it was emotional and told her about separation and everything like that.
I chat hassle.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Is he about to leak?
What happened after that?
Dude, that sucks, dude. Imagine you fucking make a son. You make a fucking son. You raise him. And then he turns out to be a fucking mass murderer, dude. This is called the dad technique, by the way.
8 months.
Very effective. I'm sorry. I need to, like, maybe joke a little bit in this situation because it's fucking, this is disastrous.
If I sub, do I also get saved from your awful
dark.
the hour transitions?
What?
I want to protect her.
You don't want to protect her?
I don't know what else to say.
Wait.
Huh? She hurt him?
Yeah. And
What now?
I tell her.
You hurt her? What? She smelled it. Or choking.
I didn't hear anything. When I went downstairs, they came back up. They were gone.
Oh my God.
Talking about separation and everything, about she lost. I don't know, like, what else to say, like, I freaked out.
They fed him this out. They fed him this out. That's why she's saying this, dude. They literally gave him this out.
Upstairs, but I didn't think anything of it.
And then we went back upstairs and she was,
I could see, like, she was up.
I mean, they fed him this as an out. Like, that was a bait.
she fell.
They're blue.
Both of them.
Yeah.
She took both of them at that.
I freaked out in the same thing.
For those of you who are confused, that's not what happened. He murdered his wife and then he murdered his children. But what happened in the previous fucking, because people are confused.
Wife and children.
No, because some people in the chat are confused. Don't say yes or whatever. We know. Some people in the chat are fucking confused. That lady basically allowed him to feel safe about admitting that he murdered the wife by feeding him a fucking story that would appeal to his sensibilities as the hero in the situation, while simultaneously basically admitting that, like, everyone fucking died. Okay? So that's what he did to his dad, to feel the freedom that comes from, like, admitting that they're dead, as they were telling him he would feel. He basically fucking lied to his dad. So now, yeah, so now he can fucking point to where the bodies are or some shit.
I'm finally back to catch a stream, goddamn.
Yeah, I'm like, see what you can do.
Thanks, HasanAbi Reacts. Healing.
What's that?
Less than 10 seconds after the mention
how
of
do
the
you
word
touch-
lawyer, the detectives re-enter the room and immediately
How do you do
reinforce
that?
Chris with non-verbal empathic communication. They immediately divert Chris's attention from the well-informed advice of his father to their own appreciative reception of his contemporary admittance.
Chris, help us work through this with you, okay?
Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know how you fucking...
told your dad?
She was in there with her
R.I.P. that pussy.
on top of her. Freaked out. I ran in there and got on top of her.
What'd you do?
She blew. Those are my babies. Those are my kids.
What happened?
Been there.
This is wild.
Although not the full avowal they are pursuing, Chris has still confessed partly to the crimes, and they now have one foot in the door. He is no longer free to leave. The interrogation now
I am so
returns to a
stressed out right
non-suggestive process, where the detectives will collect further information, where they will not contaminate with excessive or direct input.
I have no idea what's going on. I'm shaking. Both my kids are blue and they're gone. So horrible for what I did. I don't know what to do.
How are people calling her sick when she's getting a confession for a murder? They're not. It is remarkable that she is so skilled at consoling a murderer.
This shit
That's
better
what
than
fucking.
Netflix, huh?
That's the reason why people are like this crazy. Do you not see that? Like, even as a part of your job, like, you got to be a little bit of a sociopath to be able to do that.
That first location I went to that day.
E.
I don't know what to do.
I know.
I didn't know what to fucking do. Like, none of this made sense. Why would she hurt my fucking girls? I'm sorry.
I know.
I know you are.
I guess it's kind of like a surgeon. You know what I mean? Like, ultimately, a surgeon is basically cutting you up. And they don't get freaked the fuck out by that because they're so used to it. So what she's doing here is kind of like that. It's the difference between a fucking surgeon and a psychopathic murderer.
Is your new favorite thing to call things demons
Like,
that you absolutely
she's doing
love?
this for good, but it's still kind of crazy that she's like doing this. You know what I mean? I'm like, God damn, like you are literally like being so kind to a person who just murdered their fucking entire family.
JCS, so
It's
now it
wild.
Makes me extra sad.
Or a gynecologist who doesn't see the vagina as a beautiful thing when they are in the process of you know, doctoring it.
They can do the right thing. Where'd you put them? Get them out there.
In the truck.
Did Shanann fight back at all? You did that?
Why are you guys saying Pago Hasan? You know I'm fucking right, dude. Shut up.
I didn't know what else to do.
I know, I'm over the kids. I know,
I didn't know what else to do. I was so scared.
I know.
W.
It's like my wife just did this, and I just did that. What do I do?
Right.
You were in a tough spot. I mean, what can you do, right?
Sometimes your body just kind of takes
I
over and
Thanks, man, for being you. Fucking legend.
He's crying because, not because he's a psychopath. He's crying out of the feeling of.
Get out of there. Chris, I know they're gone, but they're still your babies, and you're still their dad.
you don't want them out there.
I didn't want to.
That's all I want to say. Smiley
He's crying
face.
because he feels like
You don't want someone
he
else
got
to
this
find
off
you
his
out
chest.
there. You don't, I promise you.
That's it. It's
Can you
relief.
give us a second so we can kind of get some
Bullshit
things
segues.
arranged? Can you do that?
Just think about it this way. Just think about it this way. Like, if what he said was true, in the eyes of the fucking detectives, if what he said was true, which they know it's not, but if what he said was true,
dude, what
then he
a
was
weaselly
keeping his
little lighter.
composure for fucking
Still
2
lying,
days
dude.
after murdering his wife and witnessing his wife murder his 2 children. Get the fuck out of here. An honest person in that situation would immediately be like, my wife murdered my fucking kids, and then I literally killed her in the process. Like, that's what a fucking normal human would do. I'm going to fucking prison. Yes.
This is just fucking horrible. I've always said she was an unstable person, but I never thought that in a million years that could happen.
She just lost it.
Why did this happen to me?
Game of Frogs Rise Up has buff.
Why did this happen to those 2 little girls?
He called the school to take out their enrollment for school the night he murdered them.
This ain't gonna be on the news anytime soon, right? As far as
No, not tonight.
B.
Whereabouts? Just Shanann and the girls.
As
The S for Shanann. Okay. And where are the girls at?
Here.
Denise? So how did you do this out?
Yeah. Your wife murdered your fucking babies, and then what happened? You hid the bodies, you fucking psycho? It's done. There's no way that you could literally fucking describe a situation in which, like, you don't know where the babies are, because the way you described it, like, you obviously know where the fucking kids are because you hid them, because, you know, you saw your wife murder the kids in the process. So are you going to tell the fucking cops that you broke your fucking children's arms in an effort to shove them through that fucking tube or whatever to make sure that they went in the oil tanker? Good luck explaining that as a non-murderer, dude. Seems like going to be a really difficult thing to
13
fucking
months, let's
describe.
go.
By the way, that's what I'm telling you is like actual fucking contents of this case. So, yeah, good luck, you fucking sick freak, dude. Good job.
Assuming that's under third. How did you take that?
So show on that my truck still with it.
So it sounds like, I mean, it feels like to me, now we know pretty well how to go get them. Is there anything else we need to know?
Pepe laugh.
He didn't think that through. In that moment, she laid a trap. He got it. He's thinking, how am I going to fucking describe to them where the babies are?
Let my family down. Let my dad down. Let my mom, sister, nephew, nieces, friends, co-workers.
Please check out the interrogation of Daniel Holtzclaw,
Can I ask you
a
another
clearly
tough
innocent
question?
man put away for
Can you put
236
it all on the
years.
table?
The interrogation was a despicable display
When
of
you
corrupt
see
police work.
Shanann
Everyone will agree this man is innocent after
choking,
the video.
strangling Celeste, and you get her off of Celeste, did you think about calling an ambulance? Come.
I see you laying there blue and limp.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen something like that in my life. I mean, she just like laid over, like nothing was, she wasn't moving at all. No gasp of breath.
First of all, I'm pretty sure, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure bodies don't go fucking blue and limp immediately after they're choked. So, like, his recalling of the events is of someone who let the fucking kids lie there for a while. Do they? I don't think they do. I think it's after, right? Rigor mortis is what, 20 minutes? Do they immediately go limp? No, dude, really?
Just totally just blue.
After the baseline information of Chris's version of events is gathered, he is now locked into an alibi and timeline of affairs.
Kind of a weird thing to know. I mean, I don't know. There might be people who are taking like, I
so
don't
they
know.
can use it against him. The tone of the interrogation then
like
reverts
med
back from
students and shit in
information
here.
gathering
People would
to a
know this.
confrontational nature.
So Chris, doing this job for a long time.
I know.
I know a lot about psychology and as far as like what people are thinking. And most parents will never even want to fathom that their kid is dead. Even if their kid's stiff, blue in bed, I mean stiff like been dead all night, they still call an ambulance to see if someone can
Fucking told you, dude. If they were blue, they'd be, if they're blue and stiff, they'd be dead all night.
revive their child. And when the ambulance gets there, they're like, gosh, their kid's been dead all night, like there's nothing we can do. And the parents are like, why are you not doing something? What are you talking about? So that's what we're used to. So that's why I want you to explain to me like what was going on in your head and
The rage I felt for what she did, it just took over.
I would hate for Shanann to get a bad rap if she didn't have anything to do with it. You know, it's not fair.
I know.
It's not fair.
There is no technical term for this approach.
Okay, guys. First of all, I don't know why he's not asking for a fucking lawyer at this point. What a freak. Very stupid. I don't think the fucking kids would turn blue immediately. Like if he caught her in the act, as he's saying, which he's lying, obviously, that's not what happened. But if he caught her in the act, they wouldn't just be blue at that moment. It takes a while for that to happen, I think. Anyway, let's keep going.
Yet it's a clear attempt by the detective to interconnect to the suspect's sense of morality, which is always under the assumption that they have any.
Like enough bad stuff has happened. Like we need to stop the bad stuff from happening. So you want to tell us the truth?
That is true.
So you're good with the public knowing that Shanann killed her daughters?
I did not hurt these girls.
Are you okay with the public knowing that Shanann?
Yes, because I did not hurt these girls.
I'm not sure I believe you.
Are you sure Shanann didn't catch you in Celeste?
No, my God, no.
Don't get mad, but what it looks like is that you found a new life, and the only way to get that new life was to get rid of the old life. And I think that
Fucking
you killed
called
these
it.
girls before their mom came home, and then killed Shanann. And that's what we're kind of left, that's what we have to believe, because it just doesn't make sense. I mean, to her point, if I walked in and my kid was decapitated, I'd call an ambulance, right? So
Knowing there's no hope.
it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't add up. So Either you're this monster who says,
No.
I just want this young, hot girlfriend, so I'm going to kill everyone and hope it works out, or something. So I think we're very, very close to the truth, but not quite there yet. So if you're not that monster,
I'm not a monster.
so what's going to happen when their cause of death comes back to you, for the girls?
It's not going to.
Okay. You sure?
I'm 100% positive it's not going to come back to me.
And what happens when a coroner looks and says, sees your fingerprints on their neck?
It's not going to be my fingerprints.
Okay. What is it going to be?
It's going to be shenanigans.
Why take their bodies out of the house and bury them?
I was scared. I didn't know what else to do.
Okay.
Nothing was gonna, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know what to do.
Scared of what?
Scared of what everything was gonna look like. My 2 babies were gone,
Mm-hmm.
and I just did that to my wife. And I was the only one left in the house. What do you expect is gonna happen?
Yeah. It did look bad, right?
It looked, I mean, this was a nightmare.
Yeah. Okay. Yesterday when you were talking, again, this is before we kind of got to this moment today, you mentioned that we were talking.
Bro, here's one thing he could have done. Just fucking left, dude. I don't know, not murder your fucking wife and children and just left with your new girlfriend and then been like, I'm divorcing you. Any number of different things he could have done. What a fucking absolute psychopathic demon. Like, straight up insanity.
I don't know where they are, I don't know where they are, and then you said something.
It costs $0 to not murder your family, dude.
Whatever happened to him, this act of pure evil. What does that mean?
It's the evil that I saw when I walked behind Shanann and she was on top of CC. And then I felt evil for what I did to Shanann.
Okay.
Just think if Shanann's friend was not such a pain for Chris, he would have probably gotten away with this. No, I don't think so. I don't think he ever gets away with this. I think it's so bad. Like, so the thing is, chat, and I've watched enough cop shows to fucking know this. The first suspect is always the immediate loved one. Like, no matter what happens in cases like this, they immediately go after the loved one, like a lover. And especially when at least one fucking person in their vicinity says they had marital issues, it's done. It's a wrap. So it's not like they were operating on like a wild guess. Like, the neighbor didn't have to actually say that. The neighbor didn't actually have to be like, yo, this person's sus as fuck. He probably murdered. Like, they still would have done their due diligence and suspected the husband. So, you know.
A lot more questions. Things are going to be different then. But if you're willing, we'd love to talk to you then too. Now that we know what we know, we're going to, I need to check that you don't have any weapons on you or anything like that. Do you have any weapons on you? Okay. We'll do that. We'll go to the bathroom. I'm not going to go in the stall with you, but I'm going to go with you. And then we'll come right back here and we'll make a decision about how the rest of the night goes. All right, so you might stand it up so I can check it.
This interrogation was a true testimony of how mental fatigue can restructure an individual's cognitive rationale. Chris maintained his innocence even after the failed polygraph, and if he had kept that stance, he would have walked out of that police department as a free man for at least another night. Yet, after a prolonged state of isolation, anxiety, and fear, coupled with the cerebral influencing tactics of the interrogators, the alleviation of getting out of that situation was in that moment perceived as enough of a luxury to exchange his freedom for it.
Chris, come stand up for me. I'm going to have you face that wall. Lift up your hands.
So I'm an addict. I'm like straight up addicted to this.